Hey everybody, Nancy here from American Pet Professionals. Happy Tuesday. I'm so happy to be back and talking on our new show, Digging into the Pet Industry. It's our fifth episode already, and we are here every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So wherever you're tuning in from, thank you for being here. And today I'm so excited to be bringing to you one of our VIP APP members, Hector Ocasio of Pet Connect Business. Hold on. Where's Hector? Oh boy. Hold on a second, everybody. Come on. There he is. Hey, Hector. Sorry about that little technical glitch right there.
All right, I'm still jamming to your intro music.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you. So we don't waste any time here on digging into the pet industry. Let's dig in. So, Hector, I've known you for a bunch of years now, but I would love for you to share your background and how you got into doing what you're doing with Pet Connect Business.
Sure. It actually all originated from a road trip that I was on with my wife several years ago. We were traveling with our dog Mason. We were on our way home late at night, and Mason got violently ill in the back seat. And we struggled to locate an emergency pet hospital because the hospital in the area didn't have any online presence, and so we couldn't find them. So through the help of a friend, we were able to find a hospital that ended up saving Mason's life. But it was that experience that really opened up my eyes to how important service providers are in our pets' lives, and then two, how critical it is for them to have an online presence. And as I looked across the service industry, what I figured out is that this was not just a pet hospital issue. This issue was rampant across all service provider types. So we were seeing, poor online presence for veterinarians, groomers, boarders, trainers, and more. And so, I realized that from my technical background, I could do something about it.
That's a scary situation to be in for any
Mm,
pet parent to have a pet sick while you're on a road trip. And I know when we first
mm,
chatted and you told me about that, it's not always the first front of mind when you're going on a road trip with
mm,
your pet, right? Like
no,
where's their vet if there's a problem? How many
right.
years ago was that?
That occurred, I want to say that occurred in, if I remember correctly, 2016. And to continue with the sort of the origin, we when we met you first, we had originally launched a Pet Connect Pet Connect Marketplace app, which was built for pet parents, that has over 100,000 pet friendly resources in it to address that problem. And that's still a live app today. And that was our primary business for about 2 years. And during the pandemic, the pet service provider community sort of reached out to us and said, look, we love your functionality. We love the ability to engage with customers, but we want it for ourselves.
Hmm.
And that was the origin of Pet Connect Business, was the ability to give them a mobile presence, an online presence, a more sophisticated communication channel between them and pet parents, but do it with their own branding on it. And so we prototyped that in late 2020, and yeah, the rest is history. We general released to the public in 2021, and been growing
Wow.
ever since.
Congratulations. I love that when that happens in a pet business where you're going for, what you've originally thought, and then somebody asks you a question and that kind of takes you on a whole new
Oh
trajectory
yeah.
with your business and realizing that, wow, this definitely could be a need for a lot of other business owners as well. So let me ask you this. So I know you're a digital management, like you just explained with what you did for pet parents. But let me know how it goes for pet businesses. Like, what do you actually provide for a digital management system?
Yeah, that's a good question. So digital management system is foreign in this space. So I'm happy that you asked that, because that's one of the questions that we'll typically get from the business community. So, and let me set the stage by just kind of telling you sort of the market dynamics. So today in the pet industry, about half of the market doesn't even have a basic website. And almost the entire market, 99% of the market doesn't have a branded mobile app solution in place. And so you have a business community that is pretty, devoid of technology as it pertains to client engagement. Many of them will get a point of sale system,
Right.
whether maybe like a Ginger in the grooming space, or a PIMS software in the veterinary space, and that helps with the operator efficiency component. So how they connect with the clients as during the service experience, but the before and after components of the service experience are pretty much non-existent. And so that's where our digital management system allows these small businesses to easily implement and manage digital solutions, branded mobile apps, websites, and all the associated functionality with that. And all the functionality is purpose built for the pet services industry. So good examples of that are like online forms, the ability for a customer to open one of the custom forms from our pet service provider and even sign it directly from their phone, or mobile payments, the ability to send them an invoice to a customer and have them pay it directly from their phone. We even just recently launched a feature where businesses can provide customized experiences per client within their solution.
So
So,
what
for
is
example, let's say you set up health plans per client. So each pet receives a unique health plan. You can actually place those health plans online and then create buttons in your mobile app, so that when you and I download that business's mobile app, when you press the button and it takes you to your health plan, and when I press a button, it takes me to mine. So it
hmm,
provides like sort of very unique experiences within a universally shared technology platform. So that's what the digital management system brings to the table. Is it takes away all of the fear of the technology. It takes it out of the hands of the small business to own, and the technology just handles all of that for them.
that's so cool. So let's say I'm a I don't know, a dog walker or a groomer, and I want
Mhm.
an app. How does it work? Is it on your platform, or you were saying people want their own customizable apps? How does it work if I'm like, "Hey Hector, I want my own app."
Yep. The first thing we would do is we would go through what is called a needs analysis with you during the onboarding process, in which we identify the different features that you want to enable within the application. So those features that are beneficial to your business and to your clients. Once you identify what those features are, we essentially and we and identify your branding. We essentially stand up that technology platform in a shelf format, and then also you grant us access to your content. And it's a mixture of the functionality that you've selected and a mixture of that content, and that sort of builds out your mobile application. If you wanted to do a website with us, while we're building out the mobile application, it's also building the website at the very same time.
Wow.
So as when you get to the finish line and you say, yes, we approve, your website and your mobile app are identical to one another. One's laid out like a website and it feels like a website. One's laid out like a mobile app and feels like a mobile app. But they're both controlled from the same platform, so that in the future, you don't have to constantly look for developers to make updates to your applications. You simply you want to go add a new gallery image or upload a new client form. You simply just go into the tool with a few simple clicks. Seconds later, you've updated both your mobile app and your website in less than 60 seconds.
Wow, that's a game changer. So, how does it work? Is it like a drag and drop upload type of thing? Can they do it from their phone?
Yeah. So the right now it's desktop driven.
Okay.
They would simply sign into the web platform, and then they would just access the content area in question. So, for example, let's say they wanted to make a change to their gallery. They wanted to upload a new client image to their gallery. So they would simply just go to the navigation, find the gallery button, click on that, choose to add a new gallery image, upload the new image, add a title if they wanted to, and then click on save, and then both the mobile app and
At
the
the
website are
same time.
instantaneously updated. Yep.
Wow, that's so cool. It's almost kind of like when you do have a social media that you're scheduling, right? It's almost the same kind of
Very.
technology.
Yeah, we actually followed a lot of the principles of the ease of social media posting, and follow those behaviors to build out essentially the configuration side of the technology. So, as a matter of fact, we always say if you can create a Facebook post, then you can manage your mobile app and your website through us.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's a game changer for especially for people that are like, I don't like this. I don't want to learn this. I don't know
Mhm.
how to do it. I hear it all the
Right.
time. I'm like, it's not that hard. Just try it. So, how do you deal with people that are saying that to you, like a little pushback?
Yeah, that's actually the hardest obstacle that we have to overcome is that this industry as a whole has really been anti-technology for a long time.
Yeah.
We even if you look at the point of sale companies, whether the PIM software on the vet side or the sort of the pet care software on the non-vet side, those companies really have only really gained traction over the last decade. Now they've been around longer than that, but
Right.
they've really only really gained traction over the last decade. And now what's happened is you sort of have this this shift in the client market, whereas we've gone away from baby boomers being the dominant group of pet parents, and now we have millennials and Generation Z really dominating the pet parent landscape. They're demanding more from service providers in the form of engagement. And so if these service providers just continue to push back against client engagement technology, they're sort of going to be looked at sort of the dinosaurs of
Yeah.
the industry. And so we have to constantly not only bring our application to the forefront, but we also have to do a lot of education, um,
Yeah.
and helping them understand why the technology is important to their business.
To their business, why they have to be, in that cutting edge of technology, which is actually simplified, like you said, it makes it a lot
Mhm.
easier to run your business, especially for people that are, on literally mobile, right? Like out doing all different,
70%.
yeah, right?
70% of brand visits will occur from a mobile device.
Yeah. And the
So
people that are literally mobile, right? Like out there running their business from their car, walking dogs, all of that. My question to you about that is, what type of pet service provider would benefit the most from this platform? I would imagine you can help any pet business that wants an app or a website and wants to do all that.
mhm.
But is there an area of the pet industry that seems to be attracted to what you do more?
Yeah, so we have the way that I'll answer that question is we do service all pet service providers. So
Okay.
if you care for pets, then we do have solutions for you. The majority of our customers are going to be brick and mortar facilities, so people who have established. However,
Hmm.
we have recently added quite a bit of functionality to help out mobile groomers
Okay.
and mobile veterinarians, mobile vet techs as well, to help them also engage. So, for example, mobile payments is a big part of that community. So we recently launched that. But essentially, it really is about what products are you interested in. So one of the things that I'll always, talk to prospects about is what is it that you're trying to accomplish with your digital solutions. If you're a new business and you're really trying to establish yourself in the market, then a mobile app is not really going to give you a great bang for the buck, right out of the gate, because
Yeah.
a mobile app is all about client retention. It's all about providing a more optimal experience for existing customers. That's where a website is going to be more beneficial to that new business.
Yeah.
But if you're an established business and you have an established brand and you're looking to provide a better overall experience for your client base, then that's where a mobile app is really going to be a game changer for you. And that's where the majority of our customers lie, is that
Yeah.
they're established businesses and they're looking for that next evolution of client engagement to up the level of their service offering to customers.
So when you say brick and mortar, do you mean pet retail, groomers, dog training facilities, doggy daycare, everybody?
Good question. I would say everybody except for product stores, so retail
Okay.
stores.
So it has
Now
to be
we,
providing a
we
service.
yeah, we do have product advertisements in our application. So service providers who also sell products can showcase those products within the application, from both the website and the mobile app. However, we are not a retail solution, so we would be better served for pet care
Okay,
businesses.
gotcha. Yeah, and I think that area is kind of covered right at this point.
Mhm.
And so, what kind of functionality does it have for the pet parent? Say I am going to take Cody to go get groomed. How do I? And they're like, "Oh, here's our new app. Like, sign up here." Is it kind of
Yeah,
like that?
so correct. Yeah, so majority of the time, as a pet parent, you're going to be informed of the branded mobile app solution by the businesses that you frequent. So, let's say, for example, you're going to Bark and Bubbles Grooming in Leesburg, Virginia. So she has a branded mobile app, and the business and the pet parents can download her mobile app. They can upload all of the records for their pet directly in the app to grant her access to view those records. So, for example, let's say in order to have a grooming appointment, she needs proof of vaccination. You could upload those vaccination records directly into the mobile app, and she can see those from her backend. So no more carrying around a manila folder of copies of all your records. Second is you can book services directly through the mobile app. So you can either book services directly through our appointments module, or be redirected to their booking solution right from her services menu. So you can browse what available services there are, and then simply book now, and then be sent directly into the booking funnel. You also have the ability to receive promotional content or client engagement content from the business. So, for example, we had to close our business due to the weather, or hey, here's a promotional offering we're doing next Monday, or hey, I saw this wonderful article online and I wanted to share it with my community.
So they can email right from the platform as well?
It doesn't email. It uses push notification in-app
gotcha.
messaging, which is actually the most clicked on form of messaging in the services industry. So it goes direct to the pocket of the pet parent. And there was actually a study done. I want to say it was Purina did the study in 2020. It was actually sort of, they thought at the time it was going into post-pandemic. Little did we all know at that point. But the study was done for pet parents, and one of the questions that popped up was, what is the number one factor for you choosing a pet service provider? And the number one answer to that question was they would select a pet service provider that consistently shared content about the human-animal bond. And so what that was showing you is that the millennial and Gen Z community is not looking for coupons. They're not looking for discounts, right? What they are looking for are brand values, and they want to understand that who they're spending their money with, who they're having care for their pets, are aligned with the values that they have as pet parents. And so those businesses who can share that type of content with their communities, that, hey, these are my techniques, these are my practices, this is the other types of businesses in the industry that I support. Those things actually do matter. And when you can consistently share those things on a cadence with your community, that's one, is going to lead to increased sales, but two, it's also going to lead to increased retention, which is, obviously the number one purpose of the mobile app.
Yeah, which is amazing, right? Because somebody say, where did you learn that? I learned it from Barks and Bubbles because they
Exactly
sent
right.
us out a push notification. I clicked on it, right? I
That's
think they
exactly
were
right.
the ones that I used as a make sure you follow them on TikTok. That I was following on TikTok
Gotcha.
when I was down in Global. That's really funny because as soon as you said that, I'm like, hey, they were one of my examples. But so that's really cool that you do all that. And what makes your platform simple and affordable for pet service providers?
Again, great question. We did a lot of analysis on sort of cost, and we did a lot of analysis on usability. And we actually spent a lot of time in the market before we released to identify the behaviors of a normal everyday service provider. And essentially, we found a group of service providers that we trusted, that we formed our community with, that were non-technical people, right? So would originally push back against technology. So that way we could watch them behave with our application, right? So that if they couldn't figure out how to perform a function, then we knew that we were going to run into that problem across the market. So, but if they could easily navigate through a function, then we knew we had that eureka moment, like, hey, the industry will be able to perform this task in our application, that it's not too hard. The second one is we also focused on price points, right? And we knew that we had to get down to a price point where it would be the cost of a single service appointment, and on average a single service appointment. So that way, one, it was affordable, that the price tag wasn't going to scare everybody away, but that they could immediately see ROI on the solution as well. And we know that we nailed it because 70% of our clients actually purchase annual subscriptions to our platform. And so right out of the demo, they're buying an annual subscription. So it's a clear sign that they're seeing enough value directly from the onboarding process to say, look, we're all in on this thing. So, which is fantastic. It's been very positive feedback from the market.
It's really great that you went through that process of figuring out what works, what doesn't work, how
Mm.
people can handle it, how that, what you need areas on help with. I really think that's great because a lot of people don't do that. They come up with a great app idea or platform and they put it out there and we just kind of shake our heads like, no, this is not really user friendly,
Well, and
So,
it's user friendly not only from the client side, but
right.
you gotta focus on it user friendly from the business side. If it
Yeah.
takes them, hours to figure out, I mean, we hear this all the time about Wix, right? It's like, yeah, Wix is affordable, no question, and Wix, is easy to access, but it's not easy to configure. We have customers who are spending days building out websites and not satisfied with the end result. And then
Yeah.
more importantly, now they need to go make updates to it, and it's even more cumbersome to them. And so when we were getting that type of feedback, that's when we knew we had to do a website solution as well. And that's why today we're not just a mobile app solution. We are a full-fledged digital management solution because we handle both the web and the mobile. And our target is to give them something that can be easily stood up. We can configure a mobile app and a website in 1 hour for them to review. And essentially, we can launch within a few business days. It's just a matter of getting through the app store creations. So,
Wow, that's unheard of. I
um,
mean, usually it's like 9 months, like giving birth to have
oh
a,
no,
a
no,
website
no,
done.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So all right. So when somebody was interested, say, they were like, "Oh my God, I need this for my business." How do you like onboard them? How do you do a demo? Do you show them how it works?
yeah. So typically, we will do a demo for them. That's not mandatory. We actually have had clients, actual customers who have signed directly from phone call chats
Yeah.
where they just have some questions. We've had numerous prospects see our application in the market and call us up and say, "Here's our 5 questions. Can you answer these?" We've answered them and essentially go directly into the onboarding process. But most of the time, folks do want to see the application in action. We have a pretty scripted demo that we can walk them through based upon their service type. It typically takes about 15 minutes to get through the demo. That's with questions. So we can really showcase the entire application for them in 15 minutes. And then from there, once they say, yes, we'd like to move forward, it's as simple as them purchasing what is called the setup fee. If they buy a single module, a mobile app, or a website only, it's $199 setup fee. And if they purchase the full suite, both the website and the mobile app, it's $299 setup fee. And that's all they're obligated to pay. We stand up the entire solution for them. And if they want to walk away at any time during that point, they can walk away and be obligated for no additional payments. But they can do a full review of their application in action. For just that setup fee. Once they say yes, we approve. So we essentially at that point help walk them through the launch process with the app stores, with setting up their hosting environment, and so on. We take care of all of that for them. We just need their participation in it, but
Yep.
we drive all of that. And then once we complete that, we launch them, and then that's when their SaaS fees start to kick in. But until that point, the setup fee is the only obligation that they have.
Wow. So are you guys integrated with any people can pay online and all those type of things?
So we just recently launched a integration with Square Appointments. We're launching an integration with Stripe next month.
Okay.
That development is pretty much done. We have a little bit further to go, but that one will definitely be launching sometime late May, early June. We are in talks right now with Ginger to try to see if we can get an integration in place there, and we're also in talks with a bigger name. I'll just say that in the vet industry that has a lot of PIMS associated with them, and we're looking to see if we can get them onboarded as an integration partner as well.
That's awesome. So what do you see the future of with Pet Connect business?
Great question. So I'm a firm believer that opinions are irrelevant. That you have to listen to the market. The market will sort of tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And so we spend a lot of time talking to the market. We spend a lot of time talking to customers, but we also spend a lot of time talking to just prospects, big players, small players. We have For example, we have solutions that are unique to large enterprises that no other company offers the pet services industry. We also are, built for the little guy too, and so we sort of cover the board of getting that feedback, and our roadmap is completely dictated by the demands of the market. So we are already booked out through the remainder of the calendar year with features that are being requested coming in from the market.
That's awesome. I love companies that listen to their customers. I use a couple of, back stuff running in the background for my business for years. And they're always like, any feedback? Or I always give them feedback like, hey, why don't you guys have this? Hey, and it's
Mhm.
always amazing when you see that feature because I'm like, I know I'm not the only one that was requesting that. So listening to the customers to make it a little easier is such a great thing for any service provider, whether you're in the pet industry or not. I hope anybody watching that is listening because when people push back and like, oh no, we're not going to do that, I'm like, well, who can I find to do that then? So I think that's really fantastic that you're listening to everybody. So
I have like a little text chain that I do whenever I have a new feature that I'm kind of considering. I'll get some folks who'll say, hey, we want this feature, and I'll say okay, and I'll have a little group that I blast it out to and just say, okay, I've gotten this from the market. Here's how we think it could work. Would this be beneficial to you? And they'll be brutally honest,
yeah,
and they'll
that's
just
what you
say,
need. That.
I would never use that in a million years, or yeah, that's a game changer for us. And so when we get those game changer responses back, then we know, okay, that
Yeah.
goes in the roadmap.
Yeah, because you can't cater to every last little request, right?
No,
Too at the same
no,
time,
no, no.
because
Yeah.
sometimes they just, they're really not going to make any sense. So let me ask you this: what has been the hardest part of starting out in the tech space?
Well, the hardest part for me is that we focus on providing technology to an industry that has been anti-technology for a long time. And so it's not a matter of just showing value. There's this entire education process that also has to occur. There are a lot of people who will contact us for a mobile app just because they think it looks cool, right? And that's great. That drove in a lead, but at the end of the day, it really takes some education to help them understand how to implement that mobile app and how the work that is involved with getting their clients to properly use it, so that they can see some return on that, and that it's beneficial to their business. And so it hasn't been as easy as just flipping the switch. We truly, again, opinions are irrelevant, but we truly believe that we have a game changing application for this space. Um, but it's important for the other side to see that too. And
Yeah,
so we spend a lot of time on the education side,
yeah.
trying to show our customers sort of the true value of what we do.
I think as a pet service provider, you want simplicity, ease, and you know functionality of something that you're using for your business to go seamlessly, right? And as a pet parent, you want that as well. And I think as people, we're so used to technology now running our lives and doing things for us that I think that anybody watching, if you have that pushback, I had somebody in one of our networking events recently say to me, I was commenting on her beautiful, she's a pet portrait artist, and how beautiful her pet portrait work is. And I could never paint like that. That's what I said. And she said, yes, you could, Nancy, if you keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing, which I thought was really interesting because a lot of people say that to me about they can't do technology or they don't know how to do this, that, the other thing. And I'm like, yeah, you could just keep trying, right? Keep learning it. So I think that's really important to understand that, technology is not slowing down and our industry as a whole, needs to jump in. I know the younger generation in our industry has already embraced it. And I think anybody that's moving forward, really the fact that you're offering this is so fantastic.
Well, they shouldn't force they have to really think of it through the lens of their customer
Yep.
and their future customer.
Yeah.
Are you truly going to force your future customers to adapt to how you do business, or do you want your business to adapt about how your customers want to engage with you, right?
Yeah.
And that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what has been your favorite thing about working in the pet industry so far?
Ooh, hmm. It's fun. It's a fun industry. I came from the hospitality industry. That was my background for a long time, and that's a pretty serious industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this has a little bit more fun action to it. For example, if you go to a hospitality trade show and you go to a pet trade show, there's a real different
Oh
vibe there. You know, and I'm a big proponent of small business. My entire career has been dedicated to providing tech to the small business community. And this is an industry 85%, in the pet care space is dominated by small business,
yeah.
right? So I'm pretty passionate about that. I love watching small businesses adopt a piece of technology and just get that wow feeling back from them. Like it's really cool to
Yeah.
watch this sort of, gritty service provider who's been doing it a long time smile like, wow, this is
Yeah.
mine. Like look at my business,
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
That's awesome. That's exciting. I love that. So, what is your daily non-negotiable habit that keeps you grounded?
Shut up and listen.
That's so good. Not a lot of people
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah, shut up and listen. Listen to your customers and listen to your employees.
I love it. That should be your motto, Pet Connect Business. Shut up and
Yeah,
listen. I'm just
shut up
kidding.
and listen. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny. Okay, so what is the best piece of advice you have received?
Hmm. Know when to say no.
Yeah,
We've had some poor customer experiences and that we've had to walk away from. Like, you're not the best customer for us and we're not the right vendor for you. And
yeah,
that's been the case throughout my career, not just in the pet services industry. And knowing when to walk away is just as important to knowing when to hang on.
yeah. That's awesome too. Yeah, definitely. Knowing when to say no and to move on is so, so important. So I love that you said that. So is there anything else that you'd like to add that I didn't ask you about?
No, no, not really. I would just say for those entrepreneurs who are out there that are grinding in this space, it is a fun space to be in. Keep grinding. Don't give up. This is a space that really needs a lot of love when it comes to entrepreneurship. We've seen great strides over the last 4 to 5 years in this space, especially from a tech play recently, but it needs a lot more love. And, there's no reason why this industry shouldn't be on the same level with other industries with the amount of money that is spent in this industry. It certainly is ready for more entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are out there who are watching this, keep grinding.
I love it. I love it. So, Hector, thanks so much for being here today. We are going to, how can people connect with you? What is your website?
PetConnectBusiness.com. That's where you can check out our application, our features, how to connect with us. But if you have any questions at all and you just want to reach out, you can also reach me at Hector, Hector, at PetConnectBusiness.com.
Awesome. And we will put the link in the chat and in our channels that we're live streaming this on. And I'm so happy that you were here today so you can explain to everybody what it is that you do. It's really a game changer, I think, for most pet business service providers that if they're looking for simplicity and ease in offering what you offer, I think definitely reach out to Hector. So thanks so much for being here. And guys, as a show note, our next show is next week, Tuesday, May 3rd at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we're going to have Peggy Hoyt from Animal Care Trust USA on. I hope you guys have a great day, everybody. Thank
Bye.
you so much, Hector, for being here.
Yeah, tell Peggy I said hello.
I will.
All right. Bye.
Bye.